Okay, let's dive into this. When you think of a good company, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it big profits? A famous brand? Well, today, we're going to break down what truly makes a company well-governed. And you know what? The answer might be simpler and way more profound than you think.
So right off the bat, let's tackle a really common assumption. We so often equate financial success with a company being good or solid. But is that really the whole picture?
I mean, really think about it for a sec. If a company is posting record earnings, their audits are clean, does that automatically make it a good company? It's so tempting to just say yes. But what we're looking at today suggests we need to dig much, much deeper.
And this right here, it just hits the nail on the head. Look, strong numbers and clean books are great. They're absolutely essential. But they're really just the symptoms, not the cause of good governance. They don't tell us the whole story about a company's character or its real long-term health.
So if profits and audits aren't the ultimate measure, then what is? We've got to peel back those financial layers and get right to the very foundation of what makes an organization tick.
And here it is. What's so amazing is how simple this is. It all boils down to this one central idea: ethical behavior. This is the absolute heartbeat of a well-governed company. Everything else we're about to talk about, it's all built on this foundation. And that is the key distinction, right? Ethical behavior isn't some box you can just tick off on a form. It's a way of operating. It has to be shown by the company's people in every single decision they make. It's got to be woven into the very fabric of how they do business, day in and day out.
Okay, so ethical behavior sounds great, right? But what does that actually look like in practice? How does a company really do it? Well, this big idea can be broken down into 4 concrete, actionable pillars. First up, we've got integrity, which is really just about being honest and having a strong moral compass. Then there's transparency. This means no secrets, you know? It's all about open communication with everybody involved. Third, you've got fairness. Pretty straightforward, operating in a way that's impartial and free from bias. And finally, accountability. This is all about leaders being answerable for their actions, being able to clearly explain how they're getting the job done. These 4, these are the load-bearing walls of good governance.
But these pillars don't just hold themselves up, right? They need to be upheld by the people in charge. And that brings us to the qualities that the leaders themselves absolutely must have.
First, responsibility. It means leaders have to be answerable for their duties to the company. Simple as that. Next up, competence. I mean, it's not enough to just be responsible. You have to have the actual skills to do the job well, for the good of the company. And third, and this one is so crucial, independence. Leaders have to be able to make decisions without being pushed or pulled in the wrong direction, making sure their #1 loyalty is always to the company itself.
Okay, so we've looked at the core idea of ethical behavior, we've got the 4 pillars of action, and the 3 qualities of leadership. So let's zoom out and tie it all together. Let's look at the big picture.
Remember this from the beginning? Now we can really see what it means. You can't just pick and choose 1 or 2 of these things. You can't have, say, accountable leaders who have no integrity, or a transparent company that's run by people who don't know what they're doing. It's a whole system. All the pieces, the actions, the leadership, they all have to work together perfectly.
And at the end of the day, that's really the main takeaway here. The numbers on a balance sheet, they tell you about a company's financial performance, for sure, but its character, defined by its integrity, its transparency, its fairness, its accountability, that tells you about its long-term health and its true value.
So I'll leave you with this. The next time you look at a company, maybe you'll see it just a little bit differently. Maybe you look beyond the profits and the headlines, and you'll start looking for the signs of its character. What do you think? Kind of changes the perspective, doesn't it?